Yes, you, watching this video. Do you want to own a piece of Scribbler? Only not a lock of hair or blood or flesh or anything else that will get you in trouble with the law? Well, now you can, with t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags and mugs featuring Obab Scribbler at her Teespring store. You know you want to. I shall now stop talking in third person and send you on to the video. Be lovely to each other and enjoy the show.
The door to Carousel Boutique burst open. "Hello, adolescents. Did you have a good time while Mummy was away?" Rarity walked into her boutique. "It seems like there is another wedding to attend every other day." She sighed, and her horn lit up as her magic enveloped the dress she wore with a light blue glow, lifting it from her body and depositing it on the floor. She shook herself free the feeling of burden she had not realized was there. "I know I shouldn't complain, but I do wish my clients would stop insisting I attend their weddings. I am simply exhausted. Although I do love to watch them enjoy their special day and know that I had a hoof in making it the best day ever." Opalescence hopped off the ponykin's back she had been laying on and walked over to Rarity. Rarity rubbed her hoof over the cat's head while she rubbed against Rarity's leg, then walked over to the dress Rarity had been wearing and delicately sniffed it. Rarity stretched her legs and looked over her shop. Ponykins were everywhere, creating a barrier that she would have to navigate to get upstairs to her bedroom. "If only I had time to sleep, but there is too much to do." She shook her head. There was another wedding tomorrow, and the couple had specifically asked her to attend, just like all the others. What little time she was not working was spent eating, sleeping, or making appearances at her clients' weddings. "I really should see the girls again. It feels like it has been absolutely forever since I last saw them." Opalescence looked up at her as her magic reached out and enveloped Ponykin with bits of white fabric on it. "I know it's silly, but I have started to feel a bit like a third wheel when I'm with them." She sighed. "It was so much simpler when we were all friends. I don't mean to sound like I don't still love them all, but after they started getting married..." Oh. She stopped, and her magic lifted the bits of fabric that would soon become a lovely white wedding dress off the ponykin and put them on the table not covered in bolts of white fabric. "It's just been awkward to be around them now. I know they don't mean to make it so, but they all have their special sunpony." Opalescence hopped up on the table and started to bat the fabric with her paw. Rarity watched her and smiled. "At least I have you, Opalescence." She turned her attention back to the fabric, moving the pieces together as she tried to come up with something not only lovely, but unique. "I do wish they would use some color other than white. I know Princess Celestia's dress was stunning, but there is only so much one can do with a pure white wedding dress. Neither Rainbow Dash nor Pinkie wore white dresses, and they both looked spectacular. Even if I would have liked to spend more time working on them. After making that dress for Celestia, I simply do not have the time I need to focus on a single dress like I used to." Rarity levitated a needle and thread. The needle pierced the white fabric, binding it together as she created. After she was satisfied that the stitch would hold, she levitated the fabric, which was beginning to look like a dress, back onto the ponykin standing beside her. Opalescence had curled up in a fluffy white ball next to her workspace. "I wish I had been able to help plan and set up their special day, like I was able to do with Fluttershy and Applejacks. Oh, that was such a wonderful wedding!" She let the dress settle on the ponykin and rested her front hooves on the table and looked up at the ceiling, a dreamy expression flowing over her face. The dresses were perfect. The decorations were perfect. The location was perfect. I hope that I have a wedding that is as perfect as I helped to make theirs. She looked back down at her hooves, then to the dress on the ponykin. Focus, Rarity. You can think about that once you finish making sure that this bride's special day is the best day ever. She let her front hooves fall back to the floor, then walked around the ponykin, examining it from every angle with her carefully honed designer's eye. I do wish every pony could make a white fabric glow like Princess Celestia. She looked absolutely stunning in the dress I created for her, and there are so many more designs I would have liked to try out. Sadly, they just look horrible without that inner glow she projects. She giggled to herself. Just watching how radiant she looked from the seats almost blinded me. I can't imagine how Twilight was able to look directly at her for their kiss. Oh, idea! She sang as she pulled the fabric from the ponykin and laid it back onto the table, pulling out stitches and adding them in other spots. Opalescence uncurled herself and stretched before sitting next to Rarity's work area. She watched as Rarity expertly manipulated the needle and thread with her magic. Bit by bit, the dress was coming together. I still wish I could use colors other than white, but I do believe this one will be spectacular. Ever since I made that wedding dress for Princess Celestia, I have had almost too much business. It really was too bad that Princess Luna had already requested to be put in charge of wedding planning. It was a lovely wedding, but I do so enjoy being able to help make such a special day perfect. She looked back behind her at the army of ponykins. I suppose it is just as well that Princess Luna was in charge of preparations. I would certainly have to turn away a few brides if I had to do more than just create their wedding dresses. She sighed. Actually, I guess I have taken on a bit too much at once. She shook her head clear of her doubts and focused back on the dress she was working on. A small wooden box on the table glowed with the light blue of magic, and the top opened. From the box, a thin white gold chain enveloped in the same light blue glow lifted out and levitated over to the dress. Rarity carefully attached the chain to the bodice of the dress and levitated it back onto the ponykin. She looked over her work. Not quite what I was hoping. If I had more time, I could make it fabulous. She looked closer and noticed how similar it was to another wedding dress that she had made last week. I wish I had time to start over, but deadlines wait for no pony. I'm positive she will love it, but I wish I had the time to make it perfect. She took a quick glance around the shop, looked over all the ponykins, each with white dresses in varying stages of construction. Each one needed to be something special for some pony's special day. Her gaze came to the dress she had casually discarded onto the floor when she arrived home. She walked over to it and levitated it up in front of her. She loved the dress. It had been made for her by her friends, and she had worn it to the Grand Galloping Gala. Now, though, she could see bits of thread sticking out from the seams and small stains along the neckline. A few of the gems had come loose. She sighed and tried to put it out of mind. I'll have to find time to fix this once I'm finished with all these orders. She gently levitated the dress over to the one ponykin without any white fabric on its back, then pulled open a curtain and pushed the ponykin back against the wall. It stopped next to another ponykin that wore a lovely purple dress resembling a few of the white wedding dresses in her shop. There was a fine layer of dust on top of the dress and a brooch around its neck with 3 blue diamonds on it. She tried to avoid looking at it and quickly pulled the curtain closed around it. Rarity walked back to the table, and her magic flowed around the wedding dress, lifting it once again off the ponykin and moving it over to her sewing machine. Opalescence walked around the sewing machine a few times before finally deciding on a spot, then plopped down on the hard table. I know, darling. I miss the old workroom also, but I needed someplace to put all the colored fabrics and old dresses that no pony seems to want anymore. The rhythmic clicking of the machine filled the shop as she worked. The moon was high over Ponyville as night reached its zenith. At a small cottage just outside Ponyville, a yellow Pegasus slumbered. Behind her, an orange earth pony slept. her leg wrapped around the Pegasus, the muzzle buried in the Pegasus's pink mane. In the town, the only lights that could be seen were from a few street lamps. A cool breeze blew in through a cracked open window over the purple unicorn inside, who would have been cold were it not for the white wing of a sun goddess wrapped around her. At Sugar Cube Corner, the only noise that could be heard was the snoring of 2 ponies. A blue Pegasus with a rainbow mane lay on her back, legs sticking up in the air, tongue hanging out the side of her mouth, while a pink pony lay across her stomach. Back at Carousel Boutique, the lights were still on, and a rhythmic clicking noise shattered the quiet of the night. Inside, a white unicorn with purple mane stood at her sewing machine, working into the night, with a white cat sitting on the table next to her, just as they had the night before, and just as they would the next night, and the night after that, and the night after that, and the night after that.